Hello, welcome to Sky Sweaty Record Review, episode 158, the only first listen new music review show hosted by a French professor immediately after leaving the gym. So, today I'm going to be reviewing Marika Hackman, who is not the daughter of Gene Hackman. I just made sure, I had to look that up because I have a weird story about Gene Hackman I may tell someday. But anyway, apparently she's some British singer. I didn't really get much more than that into her bio. But she released an album called Any Human Friend. And about halfway through, I had these two words pop up into my head, and you've already seen them on the thumbnail for this episode. And I'm going to sort of work backwards from that. Because sometimes, when you listen to music, like you just get a sense, like just something pops into your head. And you think it has meaning and you think it works. And I've listened to the album and I think it has meaning and I think it works. Melancholic pornography. Okay, let's define both those words. First word, melancholic. It basically means sad and pensive. It comes from the old Greek word for black bile. It was a philosophy that it was something that came from your body. We don't need to get into that. But sad and pensive. And pornographic. Of course, the greatest definition of pornography was ever given in the 80s in response to the national arts funding, where a famous Republican senator said, "I don't know how to define it, but I know it when I see it." I'm not going to cop out like that. I'm just going to say anything explicitly sexual. So I would say that this album is an interesting combination between sad, pensive, and explicitly sexual. And in order to get into that, I want to really focus on one song that I think exemplifies this album in general. As always, I don't review music that I don't like. I do review music that I don't love, you know what I mean? But I'm never going to review something where I just say, this is garbage. So this is a good example off of this album, which is a strong album. And I'll explain to you why by explaining the strengths of this song. Now the song is called Hand Solo. Okay, that's a pun. I don't know what my official policy is on puns in this show. I think I'm for them. I'm also into my dog readjusting in the sun. He was completely in the sun, but he had to move so his head was a little bit in the shade. It's tough to be alone. It's tough to be alone is one of the things that is said in this. Okay, I gotta stop work. The transitions don't work. Okay, so Hand Solo. I think this is a great example of her style, musically especially. It's another one of these albums, which is what I tend to like the most, which is surprisingly complex. So there's like a verse and a pre-chorus and a chorus, and it seems like a fairly simple, straightforward song, but then when you listen carefully, you hear these really nice percussion with cowbells, like a nice kind of pounding guitar. One of the pre-choruses uses some strings, and then later it ends with this really weird and, I was going to say wacky, kind of a weird ending with a guitar, a very low guitar and a low bass echoing each other with a kind of burpy keyboard sound. So it has a lot of nice layers, it has a lot of interesting parts, and it's fairly catchy. Both the pre-chorus and the chorus are quite catchy. And then we come to the thematics of the song. So Hand Solo, if you couldn't figure out, is a song about masturbation. So, okay. There's been a lot of great songs about masturbation, a few good songs by women singers about masturbation. But how do you make it interesting? How do you make it important? More than just like, yay, masturbation. And I think she does it. Now, on the one hand, it's fairly, I can't tell, like it's sort of on this line between irony and not. Like when she says lines like, I don't know, what does she say? I dig for life in the eye of my thigh. Now, that's a great example of a pornographic line that's overly poetic. And then that chorus ends with her saying, "Oh, the irony." So I don't know if she's like being entirely sincere with this amazing elegy to masturbation or not. But all of these kinds of pornographic elements are mixed in with her talking about how it's hard to be alone. There's an entire verse where she talks about feeling punished and that she's going blind and that the patriarchy says that she will die a virgin. So at the same time that it's like this sexy song, it's also a song about loneliness. And that goes throughout the entire album. It's a very sexy album about loneliness. There's another song called All Night, which follows the same kind of trend, in which she sings about this person and, our mouths were made for kissing and effing and but at the same time, she starts it off by making it clear that actually this person doesn't exist. Like, she never met them. So maybe this is tied into the Han Solo song. She repeats the line over and over again, we go down on each other. But she manages to sing it in a way where it doesn't sound sexy. It just sounds like maybe this is a dark, sad comment, like using the double meaning of the expression of going down to actually indicate like a fall. I don't know. Not the entire album isn't like this. The entire album isn't all, pornographic and melancholic, but it's all pornographic or melancholic. So the parts, even when the songs aren't pornographic, it's always sad and pensive. The name of the album is Any Human Friend. That's the title track that closes the album. Pretty nice kind of minimalist song, but then some strings come in. In a similar way, it opens very minimalist with a track, but then the chorus kind of comes in and she sings over herself and makes it a little bit more complicated. If you want to hear a song that I would say, if you want to be not challenged, listen to the track The One. Why did I say that? Toby, why did I say that? He just looks at me. Anyways, it's not that it's not challenging, but it's the most upbeat song. And it's a song called The One that seems to be about, the dream of having the one person you can be with. And she's sort of, saying that she wants it and doesn't want it. A lot of this is someone struggling with monogamy, someone struggling with commitment, someone struggling with loneliness. And in this song, she has a chorus where she sings back to herself, like, "You're not that kind of girl," or something. I don't know what she actually sings. But it's a little bit upbeat, it's a little bit funnier. She says, "I've got BDE. I think it's a venereal disease." Which, if you know what that means, that's kind of funny. There are some low points in this album. I'd say there's like a couple tracks back to back, Blow and I'm Not Where You Are. The first one's kind of a bland, sort of like modern disco song. And then the next one made me realize who this singer reminds me the most of, which is the Cardigans. So if you remember the Cardigans from the 90s, interesting rock band. I think they're from Sweden. And they had a female singer who was remarkable, but not particularly outstanding, but often kind of like catchy choruses that sort of like have a long sort of writing, long drawn out words, not a lot of staccato in the singing, a nice mixture of electronic instruments and rock instruments. The Cardigans were way ahead of the game on that one. But that made me realize, like, maybe that's not my favorite thing about this, is that it kind of reminds me of the Cardigans, who, again, a band that I don't love, but a band that I don't hate. The song Han Solo, what I like about it is that it goes into the next song directly. And I would play these songs back to back, but I tried that last episode with Ty Segall, and Drag City decided that I was trying to give away their music for free. And so I don't want Sub Pop to come after me. Okay? Sub Pop. I swear, I'm just trying to get people to listen to your music. I actually talk about buying music all the time, but it's okay. The robots don't care about my show. It's okay. But do you? If you do, hit like and point at your thumb. So the song Conventional Ride comes right out of Han Solo, and this is probably the deepest, most interesting. The whole album is, I would say, it's a pretty feminist record, but it's not overtly feminist. It's not like, treat us fairly. But it does do a good job, I think, of explaining a lot of the troubles that happen, a lot of the negative experiences that happen, like in the song Han Solo, being shamed for your sexuality. And then this song, Conventional Ride, is great because she talks about how that she's been this girl before, some fantasy you'd love to adore. And so a lot of great poetry, most great poetry throughout history, love songs are all about some idealized woman. And of course, women are not ideal, women are real, and the pressure to live up to that is, as she says, impossible to sustain. And of course, it's dehumanizing. Idealizing a woman does nothing for her but kill her humanity. And this is a song that actually gets at that. So, boy, actually, I really like that. Another song that's okay called Come Undone, about the superficialities of relationships, keeping them strong. Again, kind of not really wanting commitment. And I think what I'm going to do now is end with the last little bits of that song, Hand Solo. I can't believe I have a house full of Star Wars toys, and I don't have a Han Solo toy behind me. That's okay. It's a pun so hacky, I don't even know. I don't even know. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play the end of Han Solo. And this is just so you can get a sense of the chorus and the way she sings, that kind of like catchy chorus with long drawn out notes. The development, hopefully, like listen for the layers. My advice is to go and listen to the song Han Solo and listen to the layers. And then I'll play it just to the end where you hear the bizarre kind of burpy keyboard stuff that she puts in at the end. And I think this is a good example of her songwriting and her skill. It's a strong record and one that I like. I'll also show you the cover of the album, which I think really shows what this record is, okay? So it's her wearing unflattering underwear, naked, except for is that a cat or a pot-bellied pig or a dog? Some kind of animal. And it says, any human friend. And I would say that's pretty much the record. That's the record, right? Like, it's sort of pornographic because she's naked, but it's not intentionally flattering, and she's sad, and she's looking for any human friend because apparently she's only friends with her hedgehog. No, that wasn't a hedgehog. If you know what animal it is, put it in the comments. That's what you should do. Okay, so here is the end of the song Hand Solo by Marika Hackman. Lots of nice guitar work you hear in there, hopefully. The musicians are really excellent. The drummer is really good. He does a lot of great drum fills, especially on the song Come Undone. Lots of good, like, single-line guitar work and guitar layered over itself. And here's this weird ending I was talking about. Look, I'm her in the album cover. And I'm holding on to like a weird hedgehog. He's not liking this. Okay. Alright. So there it is. Marika Hackman. Oh, he really didn't like that. Here you go. Want your bone? Who's a good boy? Okay. Uh-oh. Now Toby wants to bone. We have some competition going on here behind me. I better get... Okay, I have to hide this bone now before the dogs fight. You know what, Toby? Why don't you go get the dog? Don't knock over the bone. Okay. All right. So until next time, hopefully you got to view this. It didn't get copy struck. Until next time, there's the camera. Wait, Toby. Look, see, now Toby has the bone. Look at that. Look at that. He's just bragging. He's like, look, I got the bone now. I'm the captain now. Oh, Toby. Oh, Bo. You're a good boy, huh? All right. Until next time, for Bo and Toby, there's the camera.